Hey friends, so welcome. This is the December 2012 mixed media kit video that I do using the Scarlet Lime kits. Just a kit that or a video that I do for fun with that kit. If you get that kit, just an idea for what you can do with it. This month of the kit, we actually included this piece of foil paper, and you're probably wondering what the heck is the foil paper for. It's really actually not necessarily it is part of the kit idea, but it wasn't like something that you paid for in the kit. I wanted to show you guys a fun new technique, and it's using foil. And so I thought if I showed it to you and I didn't include foil, then you guys would be like, well crap, now I have to go find foil. So I just put it in the kit, and that way you can, you know, then you don't have to run and find it. So anyways, this month's kit has some really fun stuff in it, and I don't know if you guys have seen these new configurations by Tim Holtz, but they're a lot of fun, and we're going to be doing something fun with it. We're going to actually be using this as a canvas and not so much a shadow box, so we're kind of using it in a fun, different kind of way. And then we have two paper pads this week, or this month. This one is aged antique paper. It's by Basil, and the thing I love about this is that it is very, very lightweight. I mean, it's like book paper. That's how it was supposed to be made. My friend Margie Romney is one of the designers at Basil, and she said it's just like book paper, and that's what I loved about it. It's very, very lightweight, close to like consistency, close to tissue paper, not quite as thin. And then of course a paper pad by the American Craft Soho Garden. And then these cute little wings, and you're also probably wondering what we're going to do with those, and I'm excited to show you. We're going to be altering them, so they're not going to actually end up looking like that. And then these fun, cute vellum hearts, some words, and then a little baggie of trinkets that we're going to be using in this. So the first thing that we're going to do is, this is the idea I have for it. Again, you know, you can use these however you want. Let me find something to open this with. Obviously not that. Can you believe I don't really have anything sharp by me at the moment? There we go. And I kind of busted through that too. So the box itself comes with like a film kind of thing on the top of it, and I just am going to discard that altogether. It's this thing, and actually there's a film on top of that gets taken off, so you have this like clear film, because the idea that he has behind it is a shadow box, and then you stick your stuff in it, which we're going to be using it somewhat like that, but we're actually going to take the boxes and we are going to turn them over, all of them except for a few of them, and I haven't quite decided which few yet. I think probably I'll turn 3 over, and I'm going to create stuff. First I'm going to cover all of this with paper, and then each of these boxes I'm going to create stuff, and we're going to make a heart out of this foil. It's going to replicate modeling paste, or not modeling paste, clay. So I'm going to make a heart out of clay, or out of tin foil, and then we're going to decoupage over it so that it looks like clay, and then we're going to so we'll do a heart, and I was thinking to do the wings behind it, and that's why we're going to, or the feathers behind it as wings, and that's why we'll decoupage them, or paint over them, because they're not the same color. And that was the other reason why there's 2 book papers as well, is because we need some really thin paper in order to do the effect with this, but then I want colorful paper for the other things that are going on. And then there's some trinkets, because we're going to do kind of a heart theme, but I also thought it would be fun, like maybe in one of these little things, to put like the little spool, and you know, maybe a bird on here, a key in the center of the heart that we're going to have. You know, and there's some extra stuff. You're not going to necessarily use maybe all of this, because you can make lots of different things if you want, and then of course some word stamps or word stickers to go across it. So it's kind of a crafty mixed media project, if you want to call it that. The one thing I do love about these boxes though is you can consider them a canvas. Like you could turn over all of these and you could paint each one individually different. Like this you could paint, you know, do a word on, this you could do a butterfly on, this you could do another word on, maybe a heart, 2 hearts, or maybe whatever. And you've got this really cool like canvas that's got pieces into it, and obviously it's a box, but it's canvas. Now I am not going to use it where then I put this back on top, because it's going to cover up my edges. So this I could actually use later if I wanted to. I could paste that in there, and I could actually decoupage the top of this, and it could be another piece for me that I use all together. So kind of 2 in 1. So I am going to really quick take some time and decoupage the outside of my box, and then the top layers of my box, and maybe paint a few of them too. And when we come back, we'll start, I'll show you the fun technique for the heart, and we will kind of put the stuff together. This is a really, really easy project, very easy project. So it's a little time consuming because you've got to cover the box, but other than that, it's a pretty easy project. So I will do that, and then I will be back. Okay, so I have paint all over on the different things you can see here. Just kind of put them in there. Now I still could go back and add, even just take my, you know, stamp pad and kind of go around these to give it even more dimension. You can, once you get these in there, sometimes it's a pain to get back out. But you can artsy them up a little bit more if you wanted to by stamping on them. Like for instance, if you want to, you could come in here and put, you know, like a stamp on it or whatever. And maybe that was a little too much because I'm going to be putting that there. I think it was. I don't like it. Let's see. Too late to get it off, but I could probably take it down a little notch. Or, you know, that's the great thing about Mod Podge is you can just go right over it. So that's what we're gonna do, because I like the design. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should look at it once again. Well, it's too uniform. Like the whole thing's just completely stamped, so I'm not in love with that. So we'll put this on there. While this is drying, can kind of mess around the other ones. So I could come in here and do like that. So that was kind of more of like what I wanted to do, not so. And even if it's just like little corners here and there or whatever, see, I actually really like it on the outside. So just whatever stamps you have. If you don't have any stamps, you know, use the bottom of a shoe, whatever. You know, you've done this before a million times. If you're a mixed media artist, so you know, just add some texture to it. So what we need to do is, now that the boxes are done, we need to start doing something with all the little pieces. We want to make it interesting. We want to make it fun. We want to make it kind of cute, which if I can get down in that box, that would actually be kind of fun. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe stamp on the inside of this one. Okay, enough with the ink. Let's get it put away. Well, actually, okay, so what I did was I painted some of the pieces because I didn't give all these pieces in this kit just to put them in how they are. I wanted to alter them all in some kind of way. So, of course, you know, I painted this, which means you could easily come in here and not even necessarily that you're gonna see some of this, but it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to alter it a little bit. I painted the key yellow too, and then after I painted it yellow, I actually put a coat of satin, or you can even use luster Mod Podge because it's very flat. Most paint is very flat, unless you're using really expensive like golden or Liquitex paints, then they have somewhat of a shine to them. But so you don't want, I don't know, I don't like the key very flat. So, and I also painted these little houses, and I'm gonna paint the bird. I just hadn't done it yet because I wanted to show you how easy it is. basically it's just taking paint and just kind of brushing it on the top of here. Just like that. Okay. So then, let's put this stuff away. And then what I went ahead and did is I just took book paper, because these are going to be going on this, so I kind of want them to stand out a little bit more than just if I were to put the wire straight on there, which you could, but so I cut out a shape that fits behind it, and we're gonna actually doodle it and add some shading to it before we stick it on there. So let's add a little bit of paint to the top of this then, now that that's on there. Okay. Now, before we move any further, because now it's just a matter of putting all the pieces together, I want to show you how we're going to use the tinfoil. This heart, if you look at it, it looks like kind of a clay kind of heart. Well, all it is tinfoil with paper wrapped around it. So it's so simple. You just basically create the shape that you want, and any size that you want it. And obviously tinfoil is so like pliable, you can mold it into pretty much whatever you want, but let's say just a heart, make it that. And you could either leave it at that, or if you wanted to make it bigger and build bigger, then you would just continue to go around and around that heart until you get it the depth and thickness that you want. So you just keep going around and around and around, and eventually it gets thicker and bigger. And you could even make it thick enough that, say for instance, if you wanted to put it in the bottom of there, because that just gives you an automatic like dimensional piece. This kind of technique, I actually got the idea from clay, like clay books, because a lot of times when people are using clay and they want to make an entire like a huge ball, the whole ball isn't clay. They'll make the base of it out of tin foil or something else and then cover that with clay. So I thought, why can't we recreate the look of clay ourselves by covering this? So then once you have this piece, and we're going to actually use the other one, but I'll show you on this. This is where the thin paper came into play. The thicker paper doesn't really mold very well, but the thin book paper kind of stuff that's included in the kit, and any kind of tissue paper would work wonderful. And you basically just put decoupage, Mod Podge glue, whatever you want on it, and then rip your strips, and then you just put it on. And you kind of have to baby it a little bit because it takes a little bit for it to stick to the tin foil. It also tends to stick to your finger, so when you go to touch it, it pulls it back up. So you have to baby it, but you start to cover it and you get the whole thing, and it works out great. Obviously, if you wanted to, then you could go in here and you could paint this, which I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to that. Just a little bit. That's going on. Oh wait, that doesn't go there. It's going to go on the green. So that is fun with tinfoil. And like I said, you could do any shapes. You could do, I think it would be so cute to make your own letters. Like, I actually, when I was creating this box, because I was thinking, I mean, you could put whatever you want on the inside of it, but how cute it would be to have, like, a letter L in there, or an M, or a C, or T, or whatever you want to do, or even create a set of words. Like, this would be so fun to, you know, just do this little teeny L, and then O. See what I mean? And then you cover that with tissue paper or book paper, and it really honestly gives the look of clay. Like, it's pretty darn cool. And you know, if you wanted to really make it look like clay, you could obviously paint the whole thing a color after you got done covering it with paper. I have found that covering it with paper first works better than just, like, if you were just to paint, you know, the tinfoil, because now that I'm putting that in there, I don't know, it's kind of cute. Makes you want to leave it in there. But I found that if you cover it with paper first and then paint it, like if you were paint it a solid cream or whatever color of clay you thought you might be doing, it actually looks better than just painting the tinfoil. So, how cute. That was adorable. Anyway, that's not what we're doing, but it would be cute. And I don't know, maybe this is where the key goes. I don't think it would be too much. Okay, but you get the point. So be creative. Obviously, these are your little compartments. You put whatever you want inside of them. This is how I've configured it. So I have an empty space here. And I have this piece here and this piece here. Now, I kind of kept some of these things simple because I'm going to have a lot going on other places. So I thought my idea would be just to put the key in there and nothing else. And I do want to kind of age it just a teeny bit with some that. Maybe even add a little bit of turquoise paint. But see how it just, I don't know, I love it colored more than I like it just the brass color. So that, my idea is that's going to go there. And then after I had my heart done, I'm going to put it here, but I wanted to put wings on it. So remember those pieces that we took out, and I've got to see if I have a full one now somewhere, because I kind of ripped them apart. I just took this off, so it just left the burlap, and then I'm going to put the burlap underneath here as a heart. And then I'm actually going to take one of these words and put it across here. How cute would that be? Then I thought here I will do a house. And then I love these cute little vellum hearts. They're just so like dainty. So I thought that would be just cute right there. And let's see. I think I have to do it this way, I guess. Just like cut another piece. This bird here. And then I was thinking what I would do is put this inside of here, and maybe I will, I don't know. I'm gonna cover it with paper, but I also thought about putting another fun little like heart in here with it somewhere, and then put a word on top of that as well. So maybe I would put this up here and this here. So we'll see. Oh, and I also had this little piece here, and I actually just included this because I thought it would be good to have it to pop off to give it dimension. So I might use it here to, no, that's too poppy. Or even to send this up a little bit higher so it's not just so short. So I'm still trying to figure that out. So I might mess around with it a little bit, exactly what I want to do. But I am going to show you how I want to do. And you could easily, sorry, I'm so scatterbrained. You could easily take the key, which would be so cute, and stick it in the middle of the heart. But I think I kind of like the simplicity of it. You know, if it was a smaller heart, it might look a little better. Or you could put the key behind it or something. But let's move on to the birds. So what we're going to do with them is I am going to actually put it onto here and I want to put Mod Podge on it, decoupage. And I kind of like the idea that my pieces hang over what I'm working on. Like, I don't want them to fit inside the box exactly, because to me that just screams normal, and I don't necessarily want it to be normal. And I think too, with these wings, I'm going to add just a little bit of paint to them. See, and that was the other thing I thought would be really cute, is if you took these heart pieces, and you could take two pieces, so these are again just ideas, and you stick them behind the key, and that gives you a cute little like butterfly key. Or even cut these in half, and we might even just stick some right in here. or put them behind your, see, that's an idea. That might be cute. Stick them behind the spool and make a little spool in there, like a butterfly spool. So, possibilities with this are completely just endless. I do like the fact that, because this is paper that ripped off, I love the fact that it kind of stayed that way, but I am gonna add actually a little bit more paint just to kind of give it an effect. And I might even, if I have some ink left on it, stamp a little bit here or there. Definitely think I'll stamp on the vellum. I'm just waiting for those to dry. That one's dry. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to shade it. And I just basically want it to look like it's a real house. So I'm going to come around the edges of it, and I'm using the Faber-Castell Pit pen, the big brush, or you can use the small one too. And I'm just basically putting it around the edges and then pushing it to make it look like it's shaded. But you have to keep in mind that it has to have Mod Podge over it because the paper is porous. So in order to create a non-porous surface, you've got to put some kind of sealer, glue, whatever, over the top of it to create that non-porous surface so that it will glide and create a shading effect. But see how it's starting to look a little more painted than just paper sitting there on the thing. And then, if you have a doodle pen or whatever, come in here and actually and I'm gonna zoom in. This is my first video in my new studio, and I have my video camera on this thing we built, but it's a little shaky. We're gonna have to fix that. So, but just doodle it a little bit. Add some touches, and I actually think I'll probably doodle this isn't quite dry, so that's why it's not working as well, but I'm impatient, so. And you're not necessarily going to see all of that doodling, because then once we get this on here, it's going to kind of go away a little bit, but still, it adds the dimension that we're looking for. Gives it dimension. And then you can actually go on and shade behind bird and the house to pop it off the back of the page. Because really we're just trying to create a fun dimensional kind of look. And I'm actually going to shade the vellum too. It's very flat. Alright, I think it's fun. It's starting to come together. Okay. And you don't have to use book paper. If you wanted to do, you know, a fun pattern paper underneath the birds or whatever, go for it. I just did because I didn't want it to compete with the pattern paper that was behind it. So let's back up a little bit now, Mr. Shaky. Yeah, sorry about that. And I am actually going to bring these in just a little bit, so it's not so much. Probably off-center that a little. I also think you could come in here and doodle around the boxes. Add some scallop in there. And what about on that one? add some detail down in there. Sorry, is my head totally in that way now? So just adding, and speaking of, maybe add a little bit more color. Okay, I'm totally getting sidetracked. So, focus, Christy, focus. I'm gonna add a little bit of dimension to the outside of this heart, just by shading it a little bit on the outside. And same with these burlap. It's hard to shade the burlap because it's so porous, but just good enough. Good enough. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start putting the pieces on it. And I'm just gonna hot glue the heart right on. And I'm gonna put a little dab of glue. It's got a sticky thing on the back, but just to make sure I wanna hold it. And now this is the tricky thing, because you don't want glue like all over this. So probably the best idea for this is to put a nice kind of thick coat of decoupage on. Diamond glaze work really good too. You could also, if you really wanted to keep it sturdy, you could punch a hole through the box where it's hollow, put a piece of wire and mount it that way, which is probably what I might do. Okay, now we got to do this piece, and I still don't know exactly what I want to do here. Let's put that piece on and stick that in there. And actually, before we do that, I think I want to use the other one, but I want to artsy that up just a little bit. Add a little bit of green paint. I'll let that dry for a minute, but we do want to put the key in there. And you could, I think the best bet, and I'm just going to use my glue gun for right now, but your best bet would be to use diamond glaze or some kind of metal glue than a glue gun. Something that's really going to hold it. And this is the side I want up, so that was not a good idea. But I do like that the paint kind of gives it something to adhere to. Let's just put that right in there. Cute. And then this, I actually had planned to cover this piece of paper. I don't know, that might be a little busy now. I think I might just take the word sticker and put that in there like this. And then this in here. Let's do a little teeny bit of doodling on this thing. You could also add stamps, rub-ons, whatever you want, whatever you have on hand. I'm trying to use only what's in the kit. Let's go this way. Alright, cute, I love it. And then we're gonna have to wire those down. I want to put this in here, but I think I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. Right there. And you have yourself a cute little box. And like, I love this. Even if you had all of these pieces turned upside and you created, you know, a look with just them looking like it's a piece of canvas, I really love it. I think these are a ton of fun. We actually carry them in our Scarlet Lime store. We have a bunch of different styles, but just fun. I really, really love it. So anyways, get creative. You can create whatever you want because you have the foil, so you can create any kind of shapes. If you wanted to in here, we could have just created another heart to stick right in there, like a huge one. But I kind of wanted to use all the little things that I gave you guys. We could have easily even just made wings with it, you know? Any kind of cute wings. It's not working very well, but that would have been cute to make something to go behind that heart too. But anyway, so there you go. Just have fun with it. I hope you guys like this month's kit. I know some months you guys are like, oh, what do I do with this? But that's exactly what I wanted to like show you guys, just a fun new way to do mixed media, because this is very much mixed media. So anyways, have a happy December and we'll see you in January.